Hello and welcome.
Today, we have a couple of interesting stories, including one about original poster who is in great danger and her boyfriend threatened to kill her if she leaves him. Sit back, relax and enjoy.
The first story.
My daughter told me she saw her father kissing someone else.
I told him about it. Now he's furious that I'd ever doubt him. I am 27F. My husband is 38 meters.
We have an 8-year-old daughter. The other day my daughter told me she had seen her father kissing someone else. I asked her who. She said her dance teacher.
She said she had seen him kissing her when she came to drop off a costume my daughter had left there last week. Her dance teacher really did drop off a costume at our house last week, and I asked my daughter, "Are you sure?" and stuff like that. She said yes, she was sure she had seen them kissing. She said it had happened in the kitchen and they didn't realize she had seen them because she had been playing outside.
When I told my husband what she said, he got furious that I would accuse him of doing this.
He said if our daughter said something like this about me, he'd just assume it was her making up stories in her head like she does sometimes.
And that he'd never suspect me of anything. I asked him, he wouldn't even mention anything to me? He wouldn't even ask me or be a little suspicious?
And he said no, and that he was furious I was even a little suspicious of him.
He's acting like this as a test I failed.
Later she told me it was all something her doll had seen.
She had said she had her doll dance teacher and father get married and kiss each other because she was mad at me that day for not letting her friends sleep over that night, so she wanted a different mommy, and she had wanted to see if it would really work. I apologized to my husband for doubting him, but I really don't think in this situation it was unreasonable to mention it to him. First reply.
Children can change from telling the truth to a lie if they realize telling the truth is making people angry. Maybe your daughter was telling the truth, and now she's scared and made up a story to stop everyone being angry. Or maybe she did lie in the first place. He does sound like he's overreacting and overcompensating. Trying too hard to look innocent.
Have you told the dance teacher what your daughter has said?
And seen her reaction?
And why did her dance teacher drop off a costume? Does she do that for all the kids? Because my daughter usually gets her costume in class. Was it an excuse to see him? Second reply. If your daughter witnessed the fallout and argument that occurred due to what she said, I can see her changing her story to help keep the peace. It's weird that you asking your husband about it resulted in anger. I feel like if I were in his position I may laugh it off or strongly deny it. Maybe hand my phone over for proof so you can see who I'm texting even. I had a boyfriend once that did the same thing when I confronted him about things that were sus. He made it about me and my trust issues and told me I needed to seek therapy. I believed him, sought therapy, worked on me. A few months later I caught him red-handed making out with another woman.
Should have trust my gut.
I wasn't the one with the problem. Don't let him make it your problem. Stand your ground. Second story. My 39 male partner, 39 female, of 20 years cheated on me.
I want to kick her out, but it would make her homeless.
She doesn't have a job.
We have an 8-year-old daughter. I have no idea what to do. We are not married.
We have an 8-year-old daughter who is my whole world. My partner hasn't worked for 8+ years as she never went back to work after having our daughter.
We are jointly in our mortgage, but I pay it, and for everything. She has no income at all. Found out last week she's been sexting with someone.
Second time. First time we went through therapy and I spent 2 years healing. Now she's done it again and I feel like I can't do that all again. I want her gone, but I can't make the mother of my daughter homeless.
I have no idea how to figure this out.
Our home only has 2 bedrooms, so she is currently sleeping on the sofa.
It doesn't feel sustainable. Edit. I'm really looking for aitA/solutions that don't involve just kicking her out. Thanks.
Top replies. There is no solution, emo, based on the facts here. No extra bedroom and you don't want to let her be homeless. Your daughter is in school, I'm guessing, so your ex should be looking for work so that she can take care of herself. If you keep feeling sorry for her and taking care of everything, she will never leave.
A part-time job while your kid in school is a good place for her to start until daughter is old enough to not need a babysitter.
Second story.
After making so many sacrifices for my fiancé, 34M, he asked me, 28F, to sign a prenup and a postnup.
I feel terrible about it.
We met when he was on a business trip in Europe. I'm a European, by the way. We slept and he had a single free day, so I showed him my city and took him to my favorite places. Our chemistry was great. When he got back to NYC, we continued to talk and, after some time, I decided to visit NYC and stayed with him for 3 months. Then, when I came back to Europe, I felt empty, so I decided to do a master's in NYC to stay with him and possibly stay in the US after it.
I took a lot of risk to be with him and spent a lot of money to just be with him. Since then, we are dating and traveling to places together.
We basically spend the last 4 years together.
A couple of weeks ago, he proposed me to marry with him, and I happily said yes because I love him so much and I already left my friends and family behind for him.
Then, a couple of days ago, after talking with his personal lawyer and the lawyer at his firm, he told me that I need to sign a prenup and a postnup which will cover all of his assets and protect it during a divorce, even the assets he gains during marriage. We will open a mutual account and put some percentage of our income there and use it for basically anything and have no access to our personal bank accounts, according to the agreement. Which is totally against what marriage is.
I'm by no means a traditional woman, but this just feels terrible and distrustful. I also empathize with him that why he wants to protect his assets. He makes way more money than me, at least most of the time, but it's not like I have a bad job and don't make any money. I work as an interior designer and he works as an investment analyst at a hedge fund. It's not an analyst job. There is maybe 3 to 4 titles at his firm, so majority of people are called analysts. But a couple of years ago, his hedge fund had terrible returns and basically he got paid a salary that was very close to mine. I didn't see him less or wanted to break up because I'm not with him for his money.
This just emotionally feels terrible, and I literally feel like a truck hit me in the face when he asked me to sign those agreements, and I haven't still recovered from that.
I will obviously go to a lawyer and a therapist to talk about it, but I just emotionally feel terrible. I never expected something like this, and I don't know if I can convince him to give up on the agreements because I feel like signing these is accepting that our marriage will fail.
The top replies. There is nothing wrong with a prenup. However, it should be protecting both of you.
Do not sign anything just because he insists.
Get your own lawyer.
The post-nup is where I have trouble. Maybe some protection for the both of you for bonuses or something. How to handle children and contributing to health and education funds, 401k, etc. But it has to be fair to both of you. He could lose his job, you could become a famous decorator.
Also, you are supporting each other, so marital gains work both ways.
Get a lawyer. Second reply. Is he trying to break up with you without breaking up with you? This is offensive.
I understand prenup, but to spring this on you without giving you the opportunity to engage fully in the process is weird. I could even understand a postnup if he wants to protect large future assets, but to do it without your involvement is a red flag in my opinion.
Either he is deliberately trying to screw you or he is so callous that he didn't think about it. People in the comments section make this seem like it's normal. I don't think so. The way it was handled was not loving.
It sounds like he privileges money above you.
We all want to be protected in case things go sour. But this is weird and harsh and should have been discussed before he ran to a lawyer and came back with papers.
His lack of willingness to encourage protection for yourself is upsetting. Third story. My girlfriend, 26F, has gotten pregnant and she wants to keep the baby. I, 19F, don't know what to do.
My girlfriend, Jessica, and I have lived together for about a year.
We've already agreed that we don't want kids. She hates them and doesn't know what to do with them, and I'm not particularly interested in them, so that's fine with me.
Now she's pregnant, she won't tell me who the father is, and she insists she wants to have the baby. We have an open relationship, so that's how she got pregnant.
I'm not interested in sleeping with anyone other than her, but she's allowed to sleep with whoever she wants. I don't really care how it happened or who she slept with, except that I think that the father should be involved in the kid's life, or at least pay child support or something.
Last week she told me that she is pregnant.
I brought up the fact that when we moved in together, we talked about kids, and agreed neither of us was interested.
She said she hadn't made up her mind about what to do here. Yesterday she told me she wants to keep the baby and raise it with me. I already do 70% of the housework.
Sometimes when we plan to do something together, watch a movie, go somewhere, have a friend over, etc.,
she forgets and I end up texting her 20 minutes after we were supposed to meet and ask her where she is. Not only do I not really want a kid, I know that if we raise one together, I'm going to end up doing most of the work myself. What do I do? Breaking up with her is not an option. I am in love with her.
Our finances are merged. My only family is my mom who hates me and my brother who lives 3,000 miles away. I have no friends other than her and her friends.
The top replies.
If breaking up is not an option, then original poster you have pretty much have resigned yourself to a life of doing her chores, cooking her meals and raising the kids she conceives with other partners while she continues to forget about your dates and ignore your stated relationship agreements.
Real advice. Separate finances immediately. Begin looking for a new place. If you're really unable to support yourself, shelters are an option and they will connect you to services to get you on a self-sustaining path, and end the relationship. You've been with this person a year. I certainly hope not longer. This is the part of the relationship where you begging to really understand your compatibility. She just made a life-impacting decision against what she knew was a hard boundary for you. That alone is enough.
Not to mention that before she did so she ensured that you would be financially dependent on continuing the relationship. Combining finances at 1 year when you're 19 is absolutely bonkers.
Everything here screams, break up.
If you don't, it will be emotionally, physically, and financially harder to do so in the future.
You will end up on the hook for supporting this kid you didn't want and currently have no ties to. You don't want to do that, so enjoy parenthood.
Fourth story.
I implied I could leave him. This is how he reacted. We've been together for 8 years and have a 6-year-old boy. We still aren't married. I just wish we were.
It's confusing why we can do everything together except have a wedding.
I'm the mother of his son. And it's embarrassing when people assume we are or ask me why we aren't yet. It came up tonight. He gave me the same answer he always does. Because when we're married I want us to have another child and I want you stop working.
I have to be in a certain financial position for this to happen. I'm unsure the exact number he makes.
He doesn't really involve me in what he considers his business. But it's enough for us to live comfortably in an expensive city. I make 30 an hour but only work part-time. He handles the finances. It's true that I want to be a som and I want another baby.
But I will wait.
When I say this, he brushes me off.
I said, sometimes I think you're playing with me. I've felt this way for a while but I've never said it.
He chuckled and said, yeah, okay. I said, I don't want to waste my time hoping you'll follow through. For a moment I felt like I wanted to leave him.
Or at least stand up to him.
He said, if you're implying you'll leave, I think we both know that's not going to happen. I never want to be a man who puts his hands on his girl, but I will do anything to keep my family intact.
Do you understand?
I said, yes.
He told me we'd find productive ways to solve my unhappiness.
I feel so many muddled emotions. He's intimidating but I know how soft he can be. I resent him but I want a happy home. I don't even know anymore. The top reply. Original poster. According to you, he said, if you're implying you'll leave, I think we both know that's not going to happen. I never want to be a man who puts his hands on his girl, but I will do anything to keep my family intact. Do you understand? So that part is extremely worrying.
He's basically saying that he will put his hands onto her to make you stay. What exactly is his threat here?
Because that is a threat and you should take it as such. Follow through and leave. I don't for a second believe that he is really waiting till the right financial number to get married.
I'm guessing that figure will never come. He'll just get you pregnant again so he has another tie to you.
He wants the family lifestyle without the actual commitments of said family. Your whole post practically screamed that he dismisses you and your feelings easily. Why stay? I didn't hear a single thing about him in your post that would be worth keeping him around. You said he's soft, but I bet that's only when you're alone and probably only after a fight. Leave.
And live your life to the fullest without having to wait on someone who will never come through.
The second reply. Get out. Run and take your baby. You're not married yet. You owe him nothing. Also, if you're not married, why are you not taking care of your own finances with a part-time job? Sure, shared assets. You pay this bill. I'll pay this bill. But please don't tell me you hand over your paycheck to this man who has never committed to you. Start looking at all of the finances and ask him, at what net worth are we shooting for that you say is good enough to get married? This is a ridiculous excuse, by the way, because you are already living as a family. Ask yourself, if married, how will the finances change in any way?
They won't.
Your housing, food, and bills are all the same after the paper is signed. If the problem is cost for a wedding, just go to the courthouse and plan the celebration later.
If you weren't already living as a family and already had a child, I could say his financial excuse is understandable.
He wants some time to save for a down payment on a house or a nest egg for when the child is born. But you already are doing all that. What is he saving for? GL original poster. I hope you find happiness. The third reply. I don't think you actually understand original poster.
He is stringing you along with the carry, and now he just told you about the stick. This is not a red flag.
It's an alarm ringing with lights and evacuation instructions. I just got a tiny glimpse in your situation, but I can see he's already manipulative, controlling, and aggressive. He controls the finances. Does that mean he knows how much you make? Can he access your account, or you just deposit a percentage or set amount into a joint account for bills and home expenses? Did he guilt you insisting you should quit or at least lower your hours to raise your kid? Have you moved away from friends or family?
Do you have plans to do that when the wedding happens, to move to a better place or a bigger house? Start putting money on the side that he doesn't know about and can't access.
If he finds out about it, tell him you're saving for the wedding, but you didn't mention it because you don't want to put pressure on him.
Make a Pinterest page full of insanely expensive wedding dresses if you need evidence for your cover. Look support for DV near you.
Make an exit emergency plan. Get copies of all your documents, your kids as well. If you have family or friends near, ask if you could crash for a week or so if necessary. The wording and how you phrased things gave me shivers. I don't like being an alarmist, but original poster for you and your kids' sake, I strongly urge you to start evaluating your relationship without rose-colored glasses. Don't fall for the sunken cost fallacy. You may want to leave this relationship before things escalate, and leaving an abuser is extremely dangerous. If you think leaving would be for the best, he can't know about it until you're gone for good.